Who will win, Mickey or Minnie? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, my name is Lizzie and I'm a Disney plush collector, but I do all things Disney on this channel, so if that's something you're interested in, please hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell so that you're always notified when there's a new video. I usually upload on Tuesdays and Fridays at 5 PM UK time, but occasionally I put in an extra video. So today is actually a plush video and I'm really excited for it. I've had this idea since about September of last year. When it started to look like I was going to get all 12 of the Minnie Mouse The Main Attraction plushes, I thought why not do a video that combines the Minnie Mouse plushes and the Mickey Mouse Memories plushes. So I have done a video that put them together before. When I moved into this house, I did a video showing you how I displayed both of them because they are displayed very differently, and if you missed that video I will leave it up above. But this one will, month by month, make me pick my favourite out of the two, because obviously one is themed to decades and one is themed to theme park attractions, and while they are both different, I think you can still pick a favourite between the two of them. So before we begin, I have to go and tear down those two displays that I put together so carefully. So let's quickly go and do that and then we will start on the ranking. So we're going to do it month by month in order. So each time I'm going to show you the Minnie first, because ladies first. So January was based on Space Mountain. I really loved how the dress was plasticky and looked like the building. I love her Galaxy Print plush because I absolutely adore Galaxy Print. I used to have Galaxy Print leggings and t-shirts and all sorts when it was big. Her stamp kind of blends into her shoe, but I really like it nonetheless. All of them still have the tag protectors on to keep them safe because they are collector's items. And for the first 3 or 4 months or so, she was my favourite of the Minnie Mouse The Main Attraction collection. But the January Mickey, the one that started it all, the one that is so rare now that you can't buy it on eBay for below £150, is the Steamboat Willie Mickey. So I really love this one because there's actually embroidered Steamboat Willies all over him, both on his black plush and his silver outfit, and it's just really detailed. I actually hoped that the rest of the collection would look similar to this, and unfortunately it didn't. But the thing that won this plush for me was the Walt quote on the foot. It says, "I only hope that we never lose sight of one thing, that it was all started by a mouse, Walt Disney." And there's his little stamp. It's nowhere near as fancy as the Minnie stamp, and his tag is protected. But obviously, for detail and Walt quote alone, the collection that wins for me is Mickey Mouse for January. I'm sorry Minnie, you are absolutely gorgeous, but there's a Walt quote and so detailed, so Mickey wins this one. And January Mickey was actually my number 1 in my Mickey Mouse Memories ranking, so I'm just going to leave a card up above to that because that is my ranking of the Mickeys. Now on to February. These are both very similar colour wise, which started to make us believe that they were all going to match each other, but of course that didn't happen. So February was based on Pirates of the Caribbean. I originally didn't like this one, but then when I saw it in person, I really quite liked it, but it was still quite low down in my ranking. This was actually the last one I got in store, so it's kind of bittersweet because I waited from about 7 o'clock in the morning to get this one. And it just shows how crazy 2020 was that I never went to a store for a release after that. So she was February 2 of 12, and then the Mickey was based on the 1920s. So we've got this very mustard yellow plush. I quite liked the Mickey design on his trousers, but overall I just absolutely hated the collar, and there's its little stamp there. So for this month, Minnie is going to win it for me. I'm just not a massive fan of the colour yellow, and Pirates of the Caribbean is one of my favourite attractions, so Minnie wins for this one. Next, on to March, the Mad Hatter's Teacups. I absolutely love this plush. It was quite high up in my ranking. I just think she's absolutely stunning, and there's so much detail on this one. It's one of the most detailed that they did. And there's her stamp. I just think she's absolutely stunning. And then you had Mickey Mouse from the 1930s. So there's a lot of primary colours on this one. I particularly loved the PVC trousers. I thought it was a really nice touch. It's very detailed, and as you will see from these Mickeys, they really encapsulated the decade that they were meant to represent. And there is his stamp. But for this one, personally, Minnie is going to win for me. I did love this one. I was quite happy that this one was my birthday month, but I just think this one's so stunning, especially for her purple plush. So Minnie wins again. This is not to mean, however, that Minnie will win all of them. So let's carry on to April. God, this one's going to be difficult. So Minnie was based on It's a Small World, which is my favourite attraction, but I just hated how they did this plush. It's just too shiny. If this was just a more pastel, less shiny material, I would have loved it. I really like her stamp though, I think it's quite cute. And then April was based on the 1940s. I like that this particular plush was based on like aircraft carriers because I'm very interested in the 2 World Wars. But I just really hated this plush. I think it doesn't help that the ears are so bent. I remember I was in California when this released, so it had to be sent to my friend's work. So it got left in a box for like 2 weeks or something, and his ears have never gone right. But I've tried for 2 years now, so. And there's his little stamp. So I think it's clear that I don't like either of these particularly, but I think Small World Minnie will have to win just because of the sheer detail that's gone into her. There's a lot of Small World specific detail that I love. It's just her plush that lets me down. So Minnie wins this one again. No, you're really testing me now. Oh. So May's Minnie was actually my favourite. So if you didn't see my ranking of the Minnie Mouse The Main Attraction plushes last month, I will leave a card up above to that video. But Minnie was based on the Enchanted Tiki Room, which I absolutely love. I think there's so much detail gone into her, and her stamp is gorgeous. I just absolutely loved this plush, and it really stood out to me as one of my favourites all through the year. But then the Mickey for May was also one of my favourites, and it is the 1950s Mickey. I loved this because 1950s is when Disneyland opened, so it kind of reminds me of the Disneyland vibe and all of the promotional material from the 50s. I just thought it was gorgeous. There is his stamp. So this one's really difficult because I loved them both so much, but I think I'm going to choose Mickey. While this one was my favourite of the minis, I think when you put them side by side, because this one also represents Disneyland and I love the pinks and blues on this and it has some hidden Mickeys, I think Mickey wins for me. So I'm really sorry, Minnie, but yeah, Mickey wins. Moving on to June was Peter Pan's Flight. I really love this attraction and I love this plush, but if you remember me saying on that ranking video, I don't like how they've done her nose. It was markedly different to all the other plushes I had, so I think I might have just had a defect because I've never seen anyone complain about this plush. There is her stamp. I think she's absolutely stunning. And then the Mickey, if you haven't guessed by now, was based on the 1960s, so I really love this hippie one. Fun fact about this one, this was the only one I missed out on and had to buy on eBay. We ended up paying 3 times the price, which you know I don't usually do, but to have a complete collection I had to. And I'm really glad that I got this particular one because I just think he's gorgeous. So obviously he's very hippie, it says love on one ear and peace on the other, and he's got like psychedelic tie-dye shorts and a heart over his heart, and I just think he's absolutely gorgeous. I actually love the denim on him as well. And there's his foot. So again, this one is a difficult decision because I love the dress on this one, but I love absolutely everything about this one. I love the ears, I love the message it sends with the ears, I love the tie-dye. So, ooh. If we're going purely on looks, I'm going to let Minnie win this one because her dress is absolutely gorgeous, as well as her ears and the sparkles on her plush. So Minnie wins. I'm really sorry, Mickey. Now going on to King Arthur's Carousel. I marked this one quite low because I think the plush is too quiet, I suppose. It kind of fades into the background of my wall. I've got cream walls and she doesn't stand out very much. There is her stamp. But I do know she's a lot of people's favourite and she is gorgeous. And then for the Mickeys, this was the 1970s. I really love this as it kind of reminds me of that 70s show and the kind of room decor that you would see in the 1970s. I think he was done super well. And there's his stamp on the corduroy. I actually think I'm going to give this one to Mickey because as detailed and beautiful as this one is, I think this really sums up the 1970s, whereas I think I would say if I wasn't a collector and didn't know about them, I would say this one was based on Mary Poppins because it just looks like the Jolly Holiday with Mary scene, which is why a lot of people like it. But this one wins for me because you just look at it and you go, yes, that's the 1970s. It's not one of my actual favourites, but I just think it's been done really well, especially with the corduroy as well. And then on to August. I hate getting to August because I have to talk about this plush. I absolutely hated this plush. I did a whole rant about it. If you want to see that rant, there's a card up above. I just really didn't like this one. It's based on Dumbo the Flying Elephant, but it looks like it's based on the film, not the attraction. So there's her stamp. And then August was the first plush that I went to store for the Mickey Memories. This is based on the 1980s and it's black and gold. I absolutely love that. It really sums up the 1980s, I think, and it's very special to me because I made so many friends by going to the Disney store to get these Mickeys. I remember I was sat in the queue and a girl that followed me on Instagram messaged me and said, I can see you in the queue, and we got talking and we've been friends ever since. So I met my friends Lauren and Chelsea at the store, and I also met my friends Nate, Craig and Jenny at the store, and I was just never lonely after that first month in August. It was amazing. So black and gold, kind of quilted, which I really like, and then there's his stamp. So I feel like this doesn't even need a ranking because if I hated this one this much, then obviously Mickey is going to win for August. And then on to September, which was Big Thunder Mountain. I absolutely love this Minnie. Her dress really sold it for me, and her neckerchief, and there's her stamp on her cowboy boot. But the thing is, the Mickey for this month was the 90s, and I was born in 1994, so this one really resonates with me, and I just think they summed up the 90s so well. It's so Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, it's so Saved by the Bell. I just absolutely love it, and I actually bought the mug for this month. I didn't buy any other mugs, but I decided to buy this mug because it was my month. I've never drank out of it. I might start drinking out of it now because there's no chance I'm going to get all 12 and display them, so I might start drinking out of that soon. But there is his stamp. So I must admit this one's really difficult for me because I love Big Thunder Mountain Minnie. I think she's absolutely stunning. Her cowboy boots give me Taylor Swift vibes. But I'm a 90s baby, so I'm really sorry, Minnie, but Mickey's got to win this one because I am a 90s baby and I just love the detail on this one. Let me know in the comments down below if any of these decade ones actually resonate with you. Like, if you're an 80s baby, did you like the 80s Mickey? I'd be really interested to know. Now we're going on to October, which was Haunted Mansion Minnie. I really loved this plush, like really loved it. She was actually number 2 in my ranking, I believe. I did it last month and I can't remember what it was, but I absolutely adore this plush. I can't put it any other way, I adore this plush. She's just so gorgeous. They've incorporated the wallpaper, but she still looks like a spirit. I just think she's been done so well. And there's her stamp. And then this Mickey was based on the 2000s, and it's very Y2K. And they did put some hidden details in here. So in his code, you've got Mickey here. I had it just a second ago. And you've got Mouse here. I just think it's been done really well. It's all about data. I'm guessing people who work in IT would really love this plush. And I just love the colours of it. So there's his stamp. When I've been thinking about this, I thought that this one would be a tie, but I think it's unfair to do a tie. As you've seen, I've been quite brutal. I think that Minnie is going to win this one for me. I don't like how many people like full on slated this Minnie, and this one has been done brilliant, but I just absolutely love this Minnie. And then we've got November, which was based on the Jungle Cruise. Her ears are still bent from last month. I haven't had time to sort them out. And the thing is, you sort them out and they will still pop back a few months later. I need something more permanent for them. There is her stamp. I just think she's absolutely stunning. I love the green plush and her outfit is iconic. And then the Mickey was apparently based on the 2010s, which I couldn't personally see because we were living in the 2010s and I hadn't seen this colour scheme being used for anything. But this Mickey was apparently bohemian. I don't get it myself, but I thought it was a really nice plush. I thought the little Mickeys and the arrows all over it was very nice. And there is the stamp. So I think this one is a no-brainer. I think Minnie personally wins this one. Although this is a lovely plush and I quite like the feel of it now I'm holding it again. I just think Jungle Cruise Minnie was done so much better. And finally, December Minnie was the castle and the fireworks. I had a whole rant about this one as well, so I'll leave a card up above to that. Because this is quite clearly Cinderella Castle when it's supposed to be Sleeping Beauty Castle, and that just let it down for me. There is her stamp. And then, if I remember correctly, it has been like 2 years now. It has been a long time. This release was 2018 for Mickey's 90th. But the December Mickey, I believe, was based on the future. So it's very holographic, very futuristic. There's his stamp. But what I love about this one is there's a walk quote on this side. So it says, "It's kind of fun to do the impossible." I think for a plush that was pointing towards the future, we should have had something that said, "We keep moving forward, we keep opening new doors." But apparently I just know more walk quotes than the people that work at Disney. I did kind of think that because there were 2 plushes that had a Walt quote on the foot, that we would get a Walt quote collection, but that still hasn't happened. We obviously had Wisdom in 2019, Minnie Mouse the Main Attraction in 2020, and in 2021 we have the mess that is Stitch Crashes Disney. I will look at each month and see whether I want it, but if the first month is anything to go by, it looks very rushed and I'm not a fan. But for the final time, Minnie versus Mickey, I think the faux pas on this was just too big to ignore. Staff of Disney should know the difference between the Cinderella Castle and the Sleeping Beauty Castle, and this one has a Walt quote, so Mickey wins it for me. So that was my month by month ranking of the Minnie Mouse the Main Attraction collection versus the Mickey Mouse Memories collection. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up and comment down below letting me know which was your favourite out of these 24 plushes. I was incredibly lucky to be able to get all 24 and only one had to be bought on eBay, which is very good going. I think with a collection such as this, even if you don't think you're going to like them all, it's better to get them each month rather than regretting it and having to pay an eBay price, which is something I will also be talking about in Friday's video, which is about my Disney Castle collection. So that is it from me. I will be back on Friday with another video. I hope you guys have a great week and I will hopefully see you on Friday. Bye!